for that, Mayor, but we need to look at how we're holding in our budget.
And you're saying already that we can't
do
pay
We need
these
to
guys.
deal with the policemen we got now before we get any more.
We do that through the privilege license.
Yeah, and we need
We
to
got a
get that
good
done.
police force, it's got a good, I had a boy from Leatherwood the other day tell me he wouldn't set foot in Cumberland with any hanky-panky. Because this police force was solid, they don't fool around.
Somebody falls up the
Right.
street, before you know it, 3 of them
But I'm
gone.
proud
We don't know where
of
they
our
went.
police
Absolutely.
department.
I
I think you've done a good job on
And it's
hiring.
been
Now
a
we need to
long
just make sure
time
they're
since
paid.
they've had the
And they're all
good
paid
reputation
fairly.
they've got right
Can
now.
I say something?
Can-
It's not open
No, it's not
to
open
the
to the
floor.
floor.
The council said, okay?
Can I go on now? I've got one more thing. On all these right here, Carl,
Yeah.
or Mayor, David Messer will come in and give us like a little in-service if you want him to, so we can all get together and I know you understand, but we don't understand. Then we'll know what to do to help.
Well, I spent most of the day with Joe Burns from Rural Water and Keith, Kevin Keith from Rural Water. And yesterday, we hired a new water sewer plant supervisor yesterday.
Who
And
is
he's
it?
already on the job.
I guess, can you name him?
Sure.
It's all right, he's an employee, so who is it?
Crystal Batteridge.
Oh, okay. Has he got all those high
He's got all the-
qualifications
yeah,
we
yeah,
need,
he's
all
got
that, that's not
What do
gonna
we have to start?
keep us
rate
out of
pay
trouble?
there?
Start the rate of pay. They told us we had to pay the people enough to keep them on the job. That's the reason we got those papers right in front of you. And you know, you got your tape recorder around? I told you yesterday how much I was gonna pay him. I told you yesterday how much I was gonna pay him.
Yeah,
So you tell me how much I paid him.
$20 an hour.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, now, there's no problem with that, except the council did not raise that pay.
No,
You
no,
did.
We don't have the authority to raise anybody.
When I-
We set the pay rates right here.
Well, see, really, Mayor, that
As long as
pay
we
rate
stay
is
in the
not in
budget.
that, it's not in that
I
policy
think I
though.
told you, those pay rates have been violated for years.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
These
laws.
pay-
As long
People
as it
have
doesn't go
violated
over
for
the,
years.
as long as it doesn't go over the maximum.
Everybody has. I just continued to violate it.
I'm glad you admitted that.
The
Thank you.
man, the man that had that job before this guy here, he's getting $24 an hour and never left City Hall.
And we still paying
We need
him
to make it
unemployment.
right. That's the bottom line though, is we need to make it right.
Yeah.
Stop doing
We
this.
need,
Make it right.
we need to run our government right. I mean,
Make
that's
it
the
right.
whole purpose in
Yeah,
these.
when you hire employees, don't hire one in the same job. I don't care the qualifications. If they're a patrolman, that's what's listed in this book, that's what you pay them. That's where you start causing disharmony amongst each one of them.
I personally think experience and training should be taken into
That's what
account,
this man.
Well,
period.
Well,
I
agree
mean,
with
that's
you,
not
but How
right.
do you've hired somebody in that has 16 years experience at $10 an hour.
Thank you.
Well,
You know, there's no consistency. That's my thing.
Yeah.
We have to have consistency.
We've got to treat everybody equally.
Right now,
You've got to treat everybody equally.
no, it's not favoritism. Everybody's treated fair. They get incentive pay on top of that too, you know.
That's
They
from the
deserve
state.
it.
They're gonna get equal, no matter if they're working average or hard.
They are saying,
But I know their jobs, they are complex, but
you made it.
there is
I wouldn't wanna walk out here and try to arrest some old buzzard bait drunk.
the League of Cities is preparing.
Woman that hides a Georgia pine right up in your face. Want you to
The
take
League
her
of
home.
Cities is preparing a scale of wages right now, comparable wages in all the cities in this area. And it should be published, and we're entitled to get a free copy because we participated in the wage scale. But their wages aren't any much higher than what we've got in that book there.
Well, see, I personally have no problem with paying this gentleman $20 if he has all the high qualifications we need.
And
All
we
right?
can afford it.
But we needed to go by our book, our pay scale. We need to change it if it
But we
needs to be
can't get-
changed.
I offered him $15 an hour, and I offered him $18 an hour, and I couldn't get him. And the state,
Well, then let's go about it the right way and change just like with the police officers. Let's pay them what they deserve, but let's change the book. Let's make Dale a sergeant,
We've
but
got
we
the
have to
yeah.
change the book.
We got the policy book, we need to make those changes.
They're right here. I got it booked.
They used to have a
council
chief,
presents the
assistant
ordinances and
chief, and a
resolutions.
sergeant.
You're
They
the
did
ones that
away
do
with
it.
assistant chief and
Well, we'll,
Can we move on?
that's all I've got, and I'm sorry I
On
took
the-
so much time.
So we can open the floor and go.
Right. Well, I'm proud of our policemen. I talk to people pretty regular in a lot of areas. And I know most of them. Most of them I can walk up and shake their hand, like I said, Snuffy. Anybody that I know. But now, when you don't hear a policeman, somebody don't know he's a policeman, what the devil's he doing to earn being a policeman? And that was, you know, what I was thinking about.
You know,
But we've got a good force.
since you mentioned Silas there, I'd like to point out something.
Snuffy?
Snuffy, a lot of people
Snuffy.
criticize him because he sued the city. I commend him for suing
He
the
sued
city because he was right in doing so and the city was proven to be wrong. Just like his stuff we're talking about right now.
And the day, Shorty
So now we're gonna
Thomas,
have 4 or
Shorty
5 more.
Smith can tell you about Snuffy.
Yeah.
And I can tell you if he
Keep it
can't,
going.
he's dead, I
going.
think.
Is that all you got, Norma?
That's all I've got, I heard.
So
I've got my
I wanna
head
know,
down.
I want these officers to believe and know that their pay is not cut.
You want that?
No, they
And that it's
can't.
not gonna get cut.
Yes, and that it's not
That's
gonna be
what,
cut on the
as
next
a
thing.
family,
Right. We want to
We
keep
wanna know.
everybody's hands in their own
So
pocket.
are they
Christy, I
all
love
good?
you,
I
but
mean,
you ain't
are
supposed to be
we all-
talking.
Are we gonna go through this
I
next?
mean, you can probably for that. I'm hushed, I'm shut in my face.
You know, the council, you know, we talked in the back about what we wanted, and then this letter comes out that's changed everything that we said. And,
We didn't say.
Oh, the minutes came out. Why I put the letter came
well,
out.
no, the minutes
letter
came out, but
is-
this is not what
it's a
happened
plan.
back there. This isn't a reflection of the minutes.
No, this
This is
is-
you saying that you're gonna change their salaries.
No, that was,
This
that-
is good toilet paper.
without disturbing, let me read this one thing that Charles Raleigh made the motion that all the patrol officers get $11 an hour. We only have 1 sergeant and 4 patrol officers. 2 of the patrol officers was getting $12 an hour, and the other 2 was getting $10 an hour. So, and he said to make $11 an hour.
We had two.
But not, no, get me wrong now. We've only got 1 sergeant authorized
On the books.
on the books.
Well, why do we hire two?
We've paid him $12, we've paid him sergeant's pay. And he's acting as a sergeant.
Then let's make him a sergeant.
Okay, all you gotta do is come and change an ordinance. There's a procedure for changing the ordinance. It tells you what has to be
That means
done.
delay it.
Next month, we'll bring an ordinance that calls for
And then
2
it'll take a
sergeants.
reading and then another reading, so you all be delayed.
Well, there's no way
But
of
that's-
getting around it.
There's, you have to follow the laws, don't you? I mean, you can't just
He don't
create
follow
an
the
order.
law, he didn't follow the
He
law
was
when you
hired
hired
as
him.
a sergeant.
I know that,
Is
but
that following the law?
No.
No. Okay,
He
he's
was
a
hired as
sergeant now. If you wanna make it legal, make it legal.
We
Not
will,
legal.
we will.
If you want to leave him as a sergeant, leave him as a sergeant.
I asked you if we changed anything, I asked you if we was gonna, if we changed it as
This is
council,
getting
would it go by, it? You
ridiculous.
said no.
We're arguing about something we all agree with.
Well, anyway, on this, I still have the floor. Chief of police, 1 position, shall be paid $13 an hour. This is lowering his pay. It was $14 an hour.
That's because we
This
needed
is
another
lowering
dollar.
his
No.
pay.
I was wanting to keep the budget the same as it is
He's
now.
already the lowest paid chief in like 10 or 15 years anyway.
I just want to make sure none of our officers' pay is cut.
Nobody's gonna
He
cut
just
the
got
pay,
his
we're gonna
raise
add
like 2
to
months
it,
ago.
we
I looked
can't.
at it.
That's all.
Mine stems with what she said. All patrolmen, if he's gonna pay 112, he pays them all 12. We can have 2 sergeants. He hired you as sergeant, did he not? There you go. We shouldn't have to pay for your mistake. We should make it right and stop this. Anytime I say something, you immediately go after Kenny because he's my brother. Well, why? Why does it have to be that way?
I didn't go.
But you got, sure you did, you got his pay. Just because I brought up changing, putting it right like it should be.
Well, really, you shouldn't be addressing too much about the police department right now.
Sure I can, as long as I don't do anything about him.
Well, that's.
I can, absolutely.
well, you've been
You have
talking
every
about
right
it.
to.
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
can talk about them, but you just can't
There's
vote
no
on
change
any
in the police department.
discussions.
You guys
You know.
get paid for your
You can't
overtime
vote on
and
like
you'll
raises.
remain as you are
You know what I'm
right now,
saying?
okay?
Can't push
Now,
it.
that means
That's just that picture you
Tegel
see
saw,
on
and those guys are still at,
Oh, I know.
on your dad's.
$10 an hour unless you change it. And now change it
Wouldn't
if
it
you
be
want to
his and
change it.
Ruben?
Ten, 11.
It doesn't, only
What's
if
it gonna be?
there's only a couple of things.
Now, remember, for each dollar you
Involved
put
in
in,
it.
that's a.
Yeah.
that's
Because he
$10.
doesn't
You're
know.
saying you wanna hire 10 police
I've
officers.
never
Now
done
you're
that.
saying
hard-
No,
It's
I'm
a
not
hard
saying
job
that.
being
I'm just
a
saying,
man.
remember,
They
hey,
need
But-
to take 12
you're
hours.
gonna
point-
Can we afford $12 an hour?
But the point is,
that'll be.
he needs to let us in on what's
How many have we got we need to
before. You
change?
see what I'm saying? Well, that's what we're trying to get through to them.
I've called the next one, I've heard things, I've called them,
8 police officers,
but,
Vernon.
now Charles,
One's in Iraq, right?
No, he's home.
He's
Charles,
So he's back to
like I
work.
said, I recorded the meeting back there, I'm not gonna make it public
Okay,
because
we're
it was a
at-
private
Well,
meeting,
I'm-
so I know what was
Yeah, I
said.
mean,
Our,
And everything he's
Our-
saying,
our
up there can
wages.
be, I can
the
defend.
operating expenses for all the wages is $227,000. To year to date, that's
And he
June,
didn't say that.
that's July, August, September, October, November. That's almost half of the, that's almost half of the year. And we're only spent, 32,090, yes, we could.
Well, if we
There we
afford it,
go.
then we raise our overtime up.
32.
And when you do that, you're just gonna have to up each one of them, and up this pay scale, we can change it right here. But regardless, of like I said, it's a process, we're gonna have to have an ordinance, then a reading, a second reading.
Charles, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
That's not the way
That's
you've been doing
fine.
it.
Is that,
That ain't the
That's
way you've been
fine. I
doing
mean,
it.
it's-
you wanna follow the procedures, just do it.
I mean, this council
The
needs
mayor-
to, this city needs to follow procedures.
Well,
We need to follow the law.
Let's do it
I
then.
mean,
Well, the mayor can authorize promotions and pay increases, you know.
yeah, now I do realize that.
Okay.
But it has to be within that pay scale.
Yeah.
Within the scope of this
Yeah.
matter, not beyond your means, not because you won't.
If we go to $12 an hour, that's above that manual, you know that.
We can change this manual, I just said that.
We-
And same with the water plant,
I'm
you
not
done, you
changing
done
it.
went past his.
Well, I know it, but, that's.
Okay.
If you just take this right here and read it, I'm trying to do everything as close to the law as possible. But, and there are certain jobs that are entitled to additional pay above and beyond that,
I plainly asked you, if the council decided to change this, were you gonna follow it? You told me no.
You need the pay
So he's not
scale.
gonna change it?
Anything we
That's not
decide
what
is
he
what
said.
it's told me, according to this recorder. Could be a lie.
Retard.
This
If I
is
know how to
getting
alter voices and
ridiculous.
stuff.
I'm,
It's not gonna be changed, you gotta understand.
one day
a
it gets done.
progression through the pay range will depend on funding availability. However, under
be over
normal
there.
circumstances, employees may receive a
Well,
pay
no, you
increase
got-
due to one,
You do have a couple in there,
percentage
that
increase
in there,
budgeted by the council.
out there that needs to be heard.
A merit increase due to outstanding
I don't
performance,
think
which
Wes
is
is
normally be
saying
accompanied by a review of employment performance. A promotion may entail an adjustment in pay to reach a minimum pay rate for new classifications. Really, we're violating every provision of this, but,
I agree, you have.
We're just violating law.
Well, all of us
all
are.
of us, it's been like this.
All of you didn't know about it.
It's
You
called-
only violating if you know about it.
But,
Parker's tired over there.
we could, according to this, we
Give
use
him a Red Bull.
33%. What'd you say, Charles?
Nothing.
Nothing? You're right, it was nothing.
It was.
Play your recording.
Play mine.
I'm about ready to
Well, so right now, the pay stays as it is. I need an accurate record of the comp time.
I'll have it for you tomorrow.
And I want the actual hours over, because I'll be paying them overtime, okay? So that it won't be an hour and a half for every hour.
That's killing me.
Just give me the hours they work.
No, huh?
And I'll
I don't
give
know
you
what
the
done
comp
that
time.
pen, do you?
I'll pay
Maybe
it
getting her
overtime,
car.
okay?
I got it.
That's what he said on the tape anyway.
Did I eat my pen?
I'll need a kind of a time sheet, and they'll
I'll
need to
probably
sign
put
it
it
if
in.
you don't mind, because it's gotta be made a part of a record.
Actually,
Here it is.
Andy's actually in service, so I probably won't be able to get his tomorrow.
Oh, he'll get it when he gets back.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Charles, you have anything else?
No.
David, you have anything? Motion to adjourn.
Floor?
Oh, floor.
Oh, we got the floor.
Got open floor.
Sorry.
Sorry, Floor, sorry about that. I'll be brief. We've got a serious problem on Back Street I'd like for you all to be aware of. As the weather drops and the temperature drops, we've got water sliding, we're
Yep.
gonna get a serious accident. I'm asking for help, I'll do whatever I can do to help. Again, that Back Street is dangerous, the water gets up there every time it rains hard. I know that there's funding in the process, but if there's anything we can do to expedite that, please, before somebody gets killed back there.
Are you
Talking
talking
about-
about
We're
where
talking
the
about
pink
that
building
water that runs
was?
across there and they have
The
to put the
water that
road.
runs across out of that storm drain
Okay.
runs through two of my buildings.
It's terrible, I
And it
know.
turned, and I have to pump the basement out of one of mine constantly.
Is that a
So
city storm drain or state?
That is city storm drain.
What's the
And
status
railroad
of that
storm drain.
funding?
Mark.
I don't think you can wait till more.
I don't know if we can, I'm like you, Charles, I don't know if we can wait all winter long. So please address that in your all's thoughts, okay? And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
That is a mess, that
Um,
street.
I'm Doris Whitaker. Carl was supposed to have brought this incident before the council, I don't know if he has or not. The night before Thanksgiving, the front driver's side tire on my pickup truck went down in an open storm drain. It's right across the street from Carl's house in Springfield, right over from Snooky's Beauty Shop. And when you cut in that drive there, when Snooky parks two vehicles most of the time on the right side of the road, so you have to cut out a little bit to get around those vehicles. And anyway, I destroyed a wheel and a tire on a 2005 Chevy pickup. I called the city police and they came out and did an incident report on it and took pictures of it, and I have pictures here. And the only thing I'm asking, and it was not a pothole, Parker. I came in here the other day, one of the city clerks had called my house and said that you said the city was not responsible because I had hit a pothole. It was not a pothole, it was an open, uncovered storm drain. It's still very, very dangerous, not only to vehicles, but to pedestrians in the neighborhood. It now has a big orange barrel stuck in it with a big stick sticking up. And I mean, there's no room there, it's like blacktop straight down into the open storm drain. So I would like for the city council to consider reimbursing me $132.50 for a wheel.
Was it on the city
You spell
street or the
Snooki.
state highway?
It's on the
S-O-N-K-I-E.
city street
I
directly
think it's
across
got
from
two
Carl's
O's.
in
S-N-O-O-K-I-E.
Springfield, down by Snooky's Beauty Shop,
It's actually on Blevin Street.
Who did the police report?
Teagle.
Teagle.
Was it on the
I
city
have
street?
pictures here.
It's right on Blevin Street as you cut down into Springfield, if you cut down right.
Carl had a picture he was supposed to have brought to you all along with this police report. He's got so much on him, he's forgot. This is what the storm drain looks like now. When my tire went in it, it did not have the orange barrel and the stick in it. It was, well, yeah, it's a storm drain. And these are pictures. That tire really has tread on it. It just looks like that the way I took the pictures to show the damage to the wheel. And there's a copy of the police report.
Yeah, I saw it.
Here's a picture actually of the tread that was on my tire. That just looked like I'm shaking. That tire just looks like it's treadless the way I took that picture. There's also pictures on here of what the storm drain looked like the night that I went in it when there was nothing in it. And there's a piece of metal there, but it's not attached. Go ahead. It's not attached to anything. It was just laying there. You know, it's laying there supposedly to be over the storm drain, but it was open the night I went in it. And it's just like straight off the blacktop, storm drain, sidewalk.
So basically, it's a homemade cover stuck over.
Yeah. Probably.
Do
y'all want me to read that? Should I read
And
this
Carl
police
has since-
report?
Please
No.
do.
Carl has since had the orange barrel and the stick put down there, and it still poses a real threat. You know, especially to people
Well, at
walking.
least for now, somebody will avoid hitting it again.
I hope.
Till it can
Barrel.
get fixed.
We do need to get that fixed.
That was an item I sent the picture and I think the report that out to you. Didn't get the picture. Oh, Teresa Tricia called you.
Do you wanna see the pictures?
Yes.
No, it's your all's claim, it's not mine. They called me and asked me about a pothole.
Well, that's what Teresa Johnson has told me,
It
is
said
that you
some,
told
that
her.
a citizen hit a pothole, was in a pothole, and he's making claims. I said, make your claims to your insurance.
I did that.
I said, make your claims to insurance, but that's, I was told it was a pothole.
Well,
So,
when I came by
I
to
don't
speak
know,
to
I didn't
her,
see any pictures, I didn't see you.
she
I didn't see
said
anything.
that, you thought it was a pothole.
Well, I don't know what it
And
was.
she said that-
And besides that, it's not anything,
She
it's
said,
not
but
my
according to the
call.
police report, it's not a pothole, it was an open storm drain.
Yeah, it was not
And
my
I said,
call.
exactly.
I mean, it's not my call. I mean, that's not, that's
Well, she
nothing.
had another call into you at the
That's
time I
nothing
called.
for me to, to,
Well, Carl had told me he would take it before the council, so I.
it's not for
The
me
reason I
to
didn't,
do anything
Teresa,
about it. I mean, it's.
Mr. Boggs thought it was a pothole.
Police
He's-
report says pothole.
It also says open storm drain, if you'll read
Yeah.
it.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
told it's a pothole, and I said, well, it's a pothole, it's a pothole.
belong to the city.
It's not,
The last I heard, you were going to ask for insurance about
Or,
it.
no, Carl, don't go there.
No, the
I mean, I
last I
have you
heard.
only as my witness. I gave you the picture and the
Right.
incident report on the street.
Yeah,
You said I will take care of this.
I did.
It has to go before the council.
How much was it?
I'm not asking
132
anything
what?
for the
A
tire
hundred and some.
because we bought new tires, so the tire, never mind.
132
Yeah.
I could have gotten more wear out
Don't
of it,
remember the odds.
but the wheel we ordered from the salvage yard
$32.
and it was $132.50.
Do you have the picture?
It was the rim.
You have the
That's
bill,
the wheel.
you have the bill
The
for it?
rim's what you're talking about.
I can get a bill faxed to you, or I'll get it faxed to town and I'll bring it by.
I'll make a motion we get,
Yeah.
what's your name?
Doris Whitaker.
Doris Whitaker, or
Can't give Will for her.
give her $132.50 for damage to her tire. I can give you this back.
Mayor, is there something we can put over there before that happens again, other than what?
Well, we've got gravel, we're gonna fill it up with gravel, put a pipe in it. We've got it on, we've got it on.
I always
Carl
say-
told me he intended to fix it as soon as
Well,
he could afford to. Now, that's a very
See all this
dangerous
right here? I'm not taking,
Oh, I know,
Yeah,
but I mean,
we know.
now, this is not a very small, it's not really small, it's like a big square
yeah.
drain that should have
It's not that
something.
it's not a concern, we really
Right.
do got a lot of stuff
Right.
to
But
do,
we
it-
appreciate you bringing it to
But I
us.
mean,
Yeah.
next time, this is $132,
Yeah.
if some citizen falls in there
Well,
and
that's
gets
more
hurt
than
physically,
that.
you're looking at, I mean, I don't wanna see that happen.
Water meter will come over.
So if I get a statement faxed to me tomorrow and bring it by, who do I give it to?
Right here.
Give it to Robert.
I put a motion on the floor for that, so we probably need to.
Okay, yeah.
Motion.
Do we need that motion for that, or, okay, but well, he made the motion, I'll second it then.
How much, 152?
130 something. You said
Is
100,
that what you
how
said?
much?
$132.50 is what the.
132.50, which is actually getting by on the bargain.
And you'll bring us a little bill back?
I can bring you, I can have a statement of what it costs me to get the wheel faxed to me tomorrow.
And
I'll
she's
bring it back
talking, you're
to you.
talking about the rim,
I'm
actually.
talking about the rim, yes,
She's not talking about
it
the
just
tire.
demolished it. I
She
mean, it
replaced the tires herself.
Motion's been made. For how much?
That's cheap for a ring. Yeah, and I second it.
For 2005.
I was very fortunate to find that because new ones are like $600.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I had to
Used
buy
with
it.
Bridges is 300 something, so.
I won't mention them.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded. Here, roll call vote.
Barrett,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Boyers,
Yes.
Haynes. Yes. Raleigh.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes. Okay. Is that
Thank
all
you, guys.
had?
Thank you.
Okay.
Me, I'm just curious about my mom's water bill. In August, my dad passed away. They were separated, living in separate houses. She had her own water bill. She had paid her deposit on the water bill. My dad was in another house. Okay, when he died, she decided to move to his house because it was about paid off. Well, we come over here to get it switched over, and I was gonna pay Dad's. I was gonna pay it off. It would take me time. I cannot pay what he owed off in one lump sum. I don't make enough. But they wouldn't turn my mom's water on. Why?
How much was
She-
owed?
I think it was like 1,700, but I was gonna pay that on my own. It's gonna take time.
That was your dad's bill,
That was my dad's. My
and your
mom had
mother was
already
gonna move
paid.
into that house.
Mhm. My mom had paid her own deposit and paying a water bill in another home.
So she just basically transferred.
And she wanted it transferred and it wouldn't get transferred.
And your
Why?
father passed away?
Yes, he passed away August the 1st.
First.
And they were two different houses.
Did you transfer the property over to your mother? I mean, is that the deal that she,
No, my
Take on-
dad left it to her. Even with them split up,
Ownership,
he
she
still
owns the
wanted her to
house.
have it.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
So
why-
he left it
Which
to
is
her?
the same situation as Miss Schoonover.
How in the
It's
world
not
did,
her, it's
did they
not
get a
her.
water bill like that, Carl?
Well, I mean, if he passed
Yeah.
away,
I
his
mean-
bills went with him.
where does he
I mean-
live at? In the city limits or
He
outside?
lives right back here behind the library.
He also worked,
She has been coming-
35 years for the city of
Yeah,
Cumberland.
he
Oh,
worked
is that
25
Jim
years.
Baldwin?
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, yeah, he's, yeah.
I'd say he was the city.
What I'm saying is, when somebody passes away,
But his water was turned off. His water was
His
turned
water was
off.
turned off, but my mom's was on, and when she moved, she
She
wanted
needs
it
the water
transferred and
on.
turned on.
But she lives
Well-
out here in this house, her water's turned off too, isn't it?
No, she was
She
paying
paid
her
her
water
bills.
bill,
She pays her bill and she's paid her deposit.
In
and
the house that
it
she's
wouldn't
living
get
in now.
transferred.
Yeah.
She moved
Well,
from 404
If you, if
right
you're a
back
KU
here.
and you move from
to
one house to the
302.
next, your deposit goes with you.
Well, she didn't get her deposit back.
She was really living in his house.
So I don't know.
Well,
with
I
Mr.
mean,
With
it's-
Mr.
I don't
Baldwin, what
know.
I'm saying, he passed away. You can't get money from him.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
I was wondering how it got up that high.
Did you all
It's
agree to
been off
take
for
on his
years.
bills?
It's
Oh,
been
it
off for-
has?
No,
yeah.
but I'm just saying,
Oh.
my mom's come to my house, showering, eating, and don't get me wrong, I'll gladly do it for the rest of my life. But she needs her own water.
And she's not responsible for that bill. She didn't run up that bill. She's
Right.
moving residences, just like Miss Schoonover, and we need to turn her water on. And
Yeah, I
let
mean,
her have it.
it's not her deal. I mean, you really need to document that this man has passed away. And we're gonna have to write that, I mean, we can't get money
She
from
got a
it.
deposit on the house where she's living at now?
Huh?
Has she got a deposit on the house that she's living in now?
No,
No,
she
one
paid the deposit on
over here.
404.
That's right, that's where
She
she's
was
living.
never give that back.
Right.
She wanted it, all she wanted was transferred, and it wouldn't happen. She's been August, September, October, November, 5 months with no water,
Did we,
living off of me.
where do you live at?
I live down here at Fugit Bottom.
Well, it's the council's, did we tell you to come to bring it to the council?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we need to do.
I don't know how you get blood out of somebody, blood,
No,
I
it's
mean,
a matter of transfer.
not blood, I mean money out of somebody that's,
If she's got a legitimate record
Deceased.
now at where she lives, and she's wanting to transfer that over to that house,
Yeah.
that's what you could do, you know.
I mean, that's the
I
only
don't see
thing
a
I
problem
think.
with it. The
long
guy
as-
that died, we do need to document
Yeah.
though that he
Yeah,
passed
you
away
do.
and that
I
we're
mean,
not
I
gonna
can
collect
bring
that
his
money.
death certificate. in.
No, we believe,
No,
we
I
believe
know he
that.
died.
We know you
I
wouldn't come in here and
remember.
say your dad was
Argue
dead, I
to
mean,
anybody
goodness.
about somebody
Yeah, we know,
being
we
dead.
know.
Yeah, I know. I know personally. I know
Honestly,
he's just he
I don't
died.
know if people was dying, the bills they had, it went with them unless somebody was a power of attorney, which,
Well,
did he have?
well, see, we need to make sure stuff like that doesn't
Yeah.
happen again, I mean,
But see,
goodness.
normally we'd get that from the estate
Yeah.
that's left. From the, cause that's when they have a lawyer and the wills and things like that
Yeah.
probated. The city, at that time, should be paid any things due to them.
Yeah, that's true, because you have to pay all the bills when, yeah.
Did he have a
He didn't
estate,
have, he
will?
just went quick.
He didn't, I mean, did he have any kind of a will leaving her that house?
So he didn't know he was gonna leave his water bill to his wife.
No. No, he really didn't.
We're not
because
laughing
they
at
were
that, we're laughing
No, I'm just,
No,
the
just the way she
situation.
said it.
the
Yeah.
way she said it.
But Jim said he had been delinquent for years. I mean, he moved.
But that's
He
not
paid
her
what he
mom's
could.
fault.
That's not her fault.
That's
No.
not her fault.
At least
She
your
needs
mom
to be
thought
able
your
to have
dad
water.
croaked and left it
Is
that
there any
way.
children involved?
Huh?
Any children involved?
Any baby?
I make a motion that we
There is
transfer
a
her.
13-year-old.
Yeah, transfer deposit, because
11,
that's what you do at KU or something.
3, and a 1-year-old that lives in the house.
Transfer it.
So there is children living in the home.
You know
But there
how
wasn't
much
any
you-
will to be probated.
How much was his account, 1,700?
Something like that.
So we'll put that in the inactive file in case of his estate.
Yeah, you kind of
There you
document
go.
that he's deceased.
In case something comes up,
I
yeah.
mean, we can put it in active, but we need to know if these people are still living or gone and what our chances are if they do have an estate or recuperate.
We have a motion to transfer the account from, what's her name?
Brenda Baldwin.
At what address?
It's 404.
From Brenda Baldwin.
Somebody's already
442.
living back there in it too
From
now.
404
They've got it
to
put up in their own name.
What's his address?
302.
302.
Okay.
Motion is, you got the motion? Transfer the account from Brenda Baldwin,
Yeah.
404 to 302. Barry?
I guess I'll second then.
Charles did.
Oh, who made the motion?
did.
Well, good for y'all.
So will that be how soon in the morning?
In the morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Come
Need
on,
to
I'm
vote.
still here.
Well, I just have a question. I just wanna make sure that, you know, what you do with the officers' pay that's lower than the rest of them, that's your all's decision. But the 3 officers that are in here, you said their pay is gonna stay as is. As is means just as is for a month or so,
Till they change it.
till they change it. Is their pay gonna be dropped?
I'm not dropping.
I'm not, I don't believe in
Okay.
that.
Absolutely
That's
not.
what, you know,
Or
because you've
anybody's
got
position.
3 officers,
No.
3 wives, we all have children. And we, you know, this day and time, it takes 2 people to work. All of us have wives and husbands that work. So, you know, I just want, when I walk out this door, I wanna make sure that not just Silas's, because he's my husband, but Kenny Ray and Dale's, that their pay stays the same.
And job title.
And their job titles, and they're not gonna be reprimanded for anything that any of the wives have said, because it's a very touchy situation.
Sure.
It affects the whole family, not just these 3 guys, but the wives too. So,
Well, there
you know,
won't be any
I just wanna
change.
know, as
What
you
we
kept
say here
saying,
will
as
stay here,
is,
and we say.
that that's just not gonna mean as is for a week or so. That
No.
their pay is safe at the level that it's at until they work up to their raises or whatever they get.
I meant what I said when I started it. I don't think it's right to take money
I don't
away
either.
from somebody,
If
and I'm
he
not,
has told them when he's hired them in, if
That's
this is
what-
what you're gonna make, then that's what it needs to stay at.
right,
You shouldn't work a couple months and then come back in and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up because this is the way the book said. Well, if that's the way the book said, you should have followed it in the very beginning. But
Well,
that
see,
you not,
We need
then you
them,
don't need to
we
drop
need
that
them to work
pay.
harder so we can get some more money in, so we can raise their
I
pay.
mean, you know, because this
Make
is the
worries.
lowest paid police department in this area. And these guys go out every day. When he leaves, I don't know if he's gonna come back home. Yeah, you know, this is just Cumberland and it's a little town, but my God,
It's
look at the
dangerous.
things that have happened. You know, and I don't wanna have to raise our little boys by myself without
I
their
never thought I
daddy.
would see that.
You know, nobody does. I know that you all don't wanna raise yours, and Cassie don't wanna raise the girls.
They'll find it.
You know, cause you don't know what it's gonna be like, whether they're gonna come home or not.
They drove it up and parked it.
And,
Basically, it's.
you know,
yeah,
it's,
heck, they're still in school buses now. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm not,
yeah, I
I'm
know,
trying
Lord
to
have
break.
mercy.
I've got one question.
last
That's
Christie.
what you're talking about. I never would have thought that would hurt school buses.
Yeah.
Stolen.
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
If this has happened, somebody get mad and stick one of you or shoot one of you. Not that I want it to happen, I'm just saying it can happen.
Right, it can, cause you don't know when they leave, whether they're coming back or not. And when you tell them bye in the mornings, you know. And it's, and I think that that's what kind of frustrates me. I don't know anything about your all's other positions with the water department and their qualifications.
Anything else, anybody else have anything else that they want to
But,
discuss?
you know, to pay
We want
$5
you all.
an hour.
We want you all, whether you're a police officer, whether you're a down the street neighbor or what, to when you hear something from this council, you can take it to the bank. There won't be no in the morning at Hardee's, it'd
But
be
you
a whole
never know
different
anymore.
tale.
I would like to know personally, like Christy was saying, we all have families. I have 2 little girls. And I would just like to know, because I think Norma, you yourself have spoke of raising Kenny Ray's pay to be fair with the rest of the chiefs throughout the last 10 years. He's like the lowest paid chief we've had in a long time. And I would just like to know why that is. That's all I want to know is why is he the lowest paid chief? I think you've even said, let's pay him more, let's pay him fair. Just be fair. That's all of us is asking, just be
Well,
fair.
what I think the statement I made was Kenny Ray is the chief of police in Cumberland. Now, if any other policeman shoves a little lady off that sidewalk, they'll come to Kenny.
That's right.
And that's what we want him to be, known, honest, reliable, as we do all of our police.
And I'd like to pay him $20 an hour, but we just ain't got the money.
I
right
wish
now.
we could.
But why is it to adjourn? Because the wives are speaking what we want to say.
Right.
I mean, you give it to the floor and we're talking what.
I mean, really, I would
real
like to pay
citizens
Kenny
of
Ray
this
$20 an hour, but we can't afford it right now. We're just now trying to bring people up where they're,
Hiring 10 officers, but I mean, I just wonder why
Yeah.
you could then, and
I wish to, I mean,
And
you
we
know,
want it.
like I
said,
like I said, work
As long as
hard,
it don't get dropped.
work
that's
hard
the
and
good.
bring
See,
some
that's
money
what-
in and we
that's
might
what
can
we
do it.
came for tonight.
Mhm.
To make sure
Yeah.
that their pay is not gonna be dropped.
No.
And
No.
we, as 3 officers and 3 wives, are trusting you all,
Yeah.
that you all are all sitting there
Well,
telling us.
That's what the mayor's
It is
saying.
not
I'm
going to
telling
be
you.
dropped.
For myself, I don't wanna see any change. I wanna see all patrolmen paid fairly.
Yeah.
And that's fine, that's
But
your
I
own
understand what
decision.
you're saying, and I don't
Right.
wanna see anybody.
But,
I don't wanna see
I still
nobody's
don't
fault.
understand what the 3 officers that's getting $10 an hour, what their pay is gonna be. I mean, if you all want it raised, if you could kinda give me a hint of what it is. It's $10 an hour.
What are they listed at?
I said, well, they're getting 10,
Are they patrolmen?
they're patrolmen, yeah.
That's $12 an hour. That's what it,
That's another
That's what you're
12,000.
paid.
How many we got? 3 making 10.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If you raise them, you have to raise them that way in order to, that's what I was talking about, raising the personnel manual. You can change their start rate and their maximum rate. You can change the number of sergeants. Dale was hired as a sergeant. Hey, he's got sergeant stripes on. I doubt he put them on there tonight. So, I mean, we got 2 sergeants, that's what we need. Keep them as they are. You got
When are
Wayne.
y'all gonna
and-
take care of appointing his position? I mean, is that first reading tonight, or?
You have to have an ordinance to do it.
Yeah, we'll have to drop an
So
ordinance.
when do you
Have a
plan on
first
doing that, so
reading,
he'll have
second
his
reading.
job security?
Next month,
I trust in this council to do what's right.
Okay, so I don't
I
know
will
what
say
Christian
something.
said, that he's gonna be
Appreciate it.
sergeant.
I
Well,
spoke,
there'll be nobody's paid
I
cut.
spoke with almost every member of
You
this
can bet
council.
your bottom dollar.
They'll ask the Lord for guidance for this council.
You know they will do what's right, if they can.
Telling you, you get out here around these scuzzy people,
We
half
can
of
tell
them
you
don't
what
even
we
know
want,
who
we
they
can't tell
are.
you what'll be done.
I'm ready to go home, it's 10 o'clock.
Does anybody have anything else to say?
Yeah, I'd like to just make a comment.
Oh, okay.
My daddy used to be a police officer here in Cumberland back in 1959 to 1960.
And we could
And I've got some idea what you all have to put up with out here at nighttime when you're out patrolling. And if we could afford it and could pay you $100 an hour, it wouldn't be near enough.
There you go, I'm gonna clap on that.
Okay, I make a motion, we adjourn.
I seen a boy's hand, he's a police officer in the area, I'm not gonna say what. And a woman had about chewed his lousy hand off, thinking she had AIDS chewing on his hand. So don't come in here and say that we don't know, we do know. Well, let's go.
Well, we didn't,
Well, you got a vote?
we didn't vote, somebody
Vote
just
on
said.
what?
Oh, Lord, I'm stuck to the chair. Stuck to the chair.
We'll have our little indention going there.
No, we're gonna have to get that, previous license stuff all straight next year.
Cause that's what, and then maybe, next year we can give them a raise.
Listen, we're gonna have to do something with this.